You've probably heard it. Collecting rainwater is a crime, that secret laws are on the books to stop you from harvesting the water that falls free from the sky onto your own roof. You've seen the scary headlines, you've heard the rumors. According to those stories, this simple rain barrel right here makes me a criminal. Well, they lied. That whole idea is a myth, a misunderstanding that's been twisted to keep you paying for something nature gives away for free. Today, we're going to bust that myth wide open and expose the truth about rainwater harvesting laws. More importantly, I'm going to show you exactly how to build a 100% legal rain catching system that will be your first step toward real water freedom. So, where did this idea even come from? Why do so many people think you can't collect the rain? The short answer is that on a federal level, rainwater harvesting is not illegal. In fact, it's legal in all 50 states. The confusion comes from old, complex water laws in a few dry western states, which have been misinterpreted and blown way out of proportion online. Historically, states like Colorado used a prior appropriation doctrine. This basically meant that all the water in a watershed, including runoff, was already spoken for by users downstream with senior water rights. The thinking was that any rain you collected was water you were stealing from a farmer or another community. But here's the part the fearmongers always leave out. Those laws have changed. Even in Colorado, a state once famous for its strict rules, a 2016 law now lets homeowners collect rainwater in up to 2 barrels with a combined capacity of 110 gallons. Utah has similar rules, allowing you to store up to 2,500 gallons after you register the system. So even in the most restrictive states, grabbing some rain for your garden isn't a crime. It's just a regulated activity. Now, let's look at the rest of the country. The vast majority of states don't just allow rainwater harvesting. Many of them actively encourage it. States like Texas, Virginia, and Rhode Island offer tax credits or exemptions when you buy rainwater harvesting equipment. Arizona provides tax incentives for installations. And California, a state that knows a thing or two about drought, passed the Rainwater Capture Act of 2012, which specifically allows you to collect rainwater from your rooftop. There are no federal laws restricting rainwater harvesting. It's all handled at the state or local level. For almost everyone watching this, especially if you just want a simple barrel for your garden, you are not breaking any laws. You are practicing a responsible, sustainable habit that more and more communities are starting to embrace. Now that we've cleared the air and busted the myth, let's get to the fun part. Let's talk about turning this knowledge into action. This is more than just collecting a little water. It's about shifting your mindset. It's about building resilience, becoming less dependent on fragile city water systems, and taking back a small piece of your own self-sufficiency. This is your first step toward water freedom, and it all starts with a single barrel. Before we start building, let's talk about why. What's the big deal with a barrel of rain? First, the numbers are pretty mind-blowing. A modest 1,000 square foot roof can capture over 600 gallons of water from just 1 inch of rainfall. Think about that for a second. A single decent storm could fill several barrels, giving you a free, accessible water source for weeks. And the perks go way beyond just free water. First off, your plants are going to love it. Rainwater is naturally soft and free of the chlorine and other chemicals found in treated tap water. It's slightly acidic, which helps release micronutrients in the soil, making them easier for your plant's roots to absorb. It's literally the water that every garden on the planet evolved to drink. Second, you'll save money. When you use stored rain for big tasks like watering the garden or washing your car, you can see a real drop in your monthly water bill. For a lot of households, a huge chunk of water use is for things that don't need purified drinking water. Third, you become part of the stormwater solution. In cities and suburbs, heavy rain hits roofs and pavement, collecting pollutants and rushing into storm drains. This can cause local flooding and contaminate rivers and lakes. Every gallon you hold in a rain barrel is 1 less gallon of runoff stressing the system. You're not just watering your tomatoes, you're protecting your local ecosystem. All right, let's build this thing. We're going to focus on the classic single 55-gallon barrel setup. The system is cheap, super easy to put together, and falls well below any regulatory limits you might find, making it legal pretty much everywhere. Your shopping list? Now? You don't need a ton to get started. The most critical part is a 55-gallon food-grade plastic drum. Make sure it says food grade, as these often hold things like olives or pickles. You can find them online at food distributors, or sometimes through local city programs, but steer clear of any barrel that held industrial chemicals. For your faucet, you'll need a 3/4-inch brass spigot or hose bib, preferably a lead-free one, along with a bulkhead fitting to create a watertight seal. To get water from your gutter, you'll need either a downspout diverter kit or a simple flexible downspout elbow. A diverter is a slick solution you install into your existing downspout that automatically sends extra water back down the drain pipe when the barrel is full. The flexible elbow is simpler. You just cut your downspout and point it into the barrel's top. You'll also need some fine mesh screen to cover openings and keep mosquitoes and leaves out, plus an overflow hose fitting and hose to direct excess water away from your foundation. Finally, grab some silicone caulk and Teflon tape for sealing every connection, and some cinder blocks or a sturdy stand to get your barrel off the ground. Find a good spot right under one of your roof's downspouts. Make sure the area is flat and stable. Now, build your stand. A simple base of 4 to 6 cinder blocks works perfectly. It has to be strong. A full 55-gallon barrel weighs over 400 pounds. The height gives you enough room to get a watering can under the spigot and provides the pressure you need. First up, the spigot. Drill a hole for your bulkhead fitting about 3 to 4 inches from the bottom of the barrel. You want it just high enough to clear any gunk that will eventually settle at the bottom. Pop in the bulkhead fitting and use some silicone caulk to get a good seal. Wrap your spigot's threads with Teflon tape and screw it in tight. Next is the inlet. If you have a closed top barrel, use a jigsaw to cut a large hole in the top for the water to get in from your downspout. If you're using a flexible elbow, just make the hole big enough for it to fit snugly. Now, for the overflow. About 3 to 4 inches from the top of the barrel, on the side, facing away from your house, drill a hole for your overflow fitting, screw in the fitting, seal it up, and attach a hose that will carry the extra water safely away from your home's foundation and into a flower bed or onto the lawn. Finally, the screen. Cover the main inlet hole with a fine mesh screen and secure it down tight. This is the single most important step for preventing mosquitoes from turning your barrel into a nursery. Now set your barrel on its stand and hook it up to the downspout using either your diverter kit or the flexible elbow, and that's it. You just built a machine that turns rain into free, high-quality garden water. This single barrel is just the start. Once you get a taste of water freedom, you might find yourself wanting more. The easiest way to expand is by daisy chaining your barrels. You just use a short pipe to connect the overflow of your first barrel to the inlet of a second one. When barrel number 1 fills up, the excess automatically starts filling barrel number 2, and so on. You can link 2, 3, or even 4 barrels this way, seriously boosting your storage capacity without a big, complicated redesign. As we've established, this basic system is legal pretty much everywhere for outdoor, non-drinking water use. We are not designing a system to produce drinking water, which is a whole other ballgame that requires serious filtration and purification. For total peace of mind, it never hurts to do a quick search for your city's rain barrel rules, but for a simple setup like this, it's highly unlikely you'll run into any roadblocks. The main thing to remember is maintenance. Keep your screens clean, and if you live where it freezes, drain your barrel before winter to keep it from cracking. So the idea that you can't collect rain from your own roof is simply a myth. Today you learned the truth. It's not only legal, but often encouraged. With just a few parts, you can build a system that saves money, helps your garden thrive, and protects the environment. Don't let myths hold you back. It's your roof, and it's your rain. Take it back and get your first taste of true water freedom. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.